Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to Ella Pastoral. And if this is your first time ever coming upon this channel right here, typically I make commentary content about my favorite books, movies, and TV shows. But I also like to talk about fandom politics and fandom drama. And that's why we're here today. So if you're interested in me breaking down this whole Taylor Swift, Swiftie, Matt Healy drama, keep on watching. But before we can really get into the meat of this video, I have to explain to you guys who Taylor Swift is. So Taylor Swift is a well-known American singer slash songwriter who's known for her pop to country crossover hits as well as her well-publicized personal life. So something I realized I forgot to mention while doing the quick little description of Taylor Swift, I forgot to mention how her fans view her as. So for some reason, Swifties, that's the name of Taylor Swift's fandom, I guess, they see her as a feminist icon as well as an activist of sorts. And I just want to tell you guys why I believe that is false, and I have a whole bunch of examples that I want to go through before I talk about the recent drama that's going on. So the reason why I feel like Taylor is a fake activist, and I feel like I'm really confused why people are shocked by this situation, has to all start off with how she is viewed as, like, I don't know how to describe this without getting demonetized, but a lot of white people who believe that white people are the superior race really look up to Taylor Swift and even hold her up as an Aryan princess. I'm going to be putting a clip either right here on the screen or in the next clip, and I'll just be reading you the article where a group of white people who believe that they're the superior race literally applauded Taylor Swift for not hanging out with white people and sticking to white nationalist ideals. And Taylor Swift's PR team came out with a PR statement debunking and practically trying to distance themselves from this situation. So practically what I'm trying to say is that I really want you guys to pay close attention to how Taylor Swift and her PR team react to these scandals. The PR team will handle this stuff, but Taylor Swift will be silent. So throughout this video, while I'm talking about Taylor Swift's problematic history, I want you to pay attention to the stuff that she herself actively speaks out against versus the stuff that her PR team has to come out and practically try to help Taylor Swift navigate. But the fact that Taylor Swift is appealing to a certain group of people who believe in white nationalism as well as other problematic things, I'm just saying it's starting to form a pattern. Hey guys, this is Editor Emma here, and I just wanted to come in and add some much needed context to the last section that you watched. So I'm going to be reading from this article titled Taylor Swift, Aryan Goddess by Leah Donnell, and this article, as you guys can see, was released in 2016. So this is happening. Some white supremacists have anointed Taylor Swift as an Aryan goddess, claiming that she secretly exposes far-right beliefs and is waiting for Donald Trump's ascension to the presidency to make her true views known. For the record, Swift has no affiliation with any white supremacist groups. She has never publicly made any white supremacist remarks, nor has she been accused of making them in private. There is no reason to believe that she has any interest whatsoever in any of this. So where did it come from? Vice's women-centered website broadly did a deep dive into the history of Swift neo-Nazi fantasy and its satirical roots. It's a worthwhile read if you're interested. It quotes Andrew Galen, who is behind the Daily Stormer website, lauding Swift's Aryan sculpted form, as well as the community manager of the Taylor Swift for Fascist Europe Facebook group, who praised Swift's Nordic blood and the fact that she's not having, gang bangs with colored gentlemen as reason for her adoration. In other words, it seems the criteria for an Aryan goddess boils down to this: Swift is white, she looks white, and she hangs out with mostly white people. So you guys just heard me read all of those very problematic and very scary statements to you guys, but I want to skip to 3 years later when Taylor decided that now is the time to separate herself from that. So let me just read you that article. Okay, so I have two articles to read to you guys. We're going to be starting off with this one and actually going to the Rolling Stone interview. But this article is titled Taylor Swift, White Supremacy is Repulsive. There is Nothing More. And this was written by Luke O'Neill 3 years after that article I read you with all of that problematic stuff. And I'm just going to read it to you. The singer has used a Rolling Stone interview to explain her pro-democratic politics and disavow her adoption by the far right. After years of keeping herself at a largely indifference remove, Taylor Swift has elaborated on her political ideology in a new interview with Rolling Stone. Harkening back to the perceived better times of the Obama years, Swift said, amongst other things, that she regretted not getting more involved in the 2016 election and that the allegations or lack thereof have been manipulated by bad actors. So now we're going to go read her actual Rolling Stone interview. So this is from the 2019 Rolling Stone interview. Like I said, the things in the bold are the questions and the things in the not bold are her replies, and I just want you guys to listen as I read this. So the interviewer asked, "You're in this weird place of being a blonde, blue-eyed pop star in this era, to the point where until you endorse some Democratic candidates, right-wingers and worse assumed you were on their side." She said, "I don't think they do anymore. Yeah, that was jarring, and I didn't hear about it until after it had happened. Because at this point, I, for a very long time, didn't have internet on my phone, and my team and my family were worried about me because I was not in a good place. And there was a lot of things they dealt with without telling me about, which is the only time that's ever happened in my career. I'm always in the pilot seat trying to fly the plane that is my career in exactly the direction I want to take it. But there was a time when I had to throw my hands up and say, guys, I can't do this. I needed to take over and I'm just going to disappear." The interviewer then asked, "Are you referring to when a white supremacist site suggested you were on their side?" She said, "I didn't see that, but like if that happened, that's disgusting. There's literally nothing worse than white supremacy. It's repulsive." And I'm going to leave the rest of the quotes for you guys on the screen if you do care to read it. But I just find it super interesting how Taylor Swift, in the process of me reading these articles, says that she tries to push her career in the way that she wants, which is going to be super ironic as we get into the actual Matt Healy situation. And the fact that she said, yeah, if little white supremacists said that I was their icon, that's gross. If, just in case they said that. And another thing I found interesting is that it took 3 years. So I'm going to let y'all make your own assumptions based off that information. But I want to repeat to y'all, it took her 3 years. Now let's actually hop back into the video. And another thing that I wanted to bring up in regards to Taylor Swift's problematic history is the fact that she has always had weird relationships with Black people. The specific instance that I want to talk about is when she admitted to petting Abel, also known as The Weeknd, like an animal. And when her co-star was literally bringing it up like, "So you petted Abel like an animal?" She didn't debunk that. She literally just giggled and laughed along. And I'm just going to be playing the clip for you guys so you guys know I'm not making this up. But when I saw that, it already started to build up a case in my head about Taylor Swift and her treatment of Black people, and later, as we'll see, other people of color.
I woke up with an email from The Weeknd.
And was he there?
He was like, yeah. And he was like, "You told me how beautiful I was for like 15 minutes straight and started to pet my hair."
Oh,
so
his hair is very pattable.
It looked really cool that night, and I apparently went on and on about it.
It sounds like quite the evening. You petted The Weeknd.
Yeah, I just
like an animal.
I was like, "You're so magnificent."
Another thing that I don't really have proof of, but I've been following a lot of Swifties, all of the drama that's going on this past year, but Taylor Swift does not actually care about her fans, and I know this because actual Swifties have come out to talk about it. During the whole Ticketmaster debacle where her actual fans weren't able to get tickets to her show, Taylor Swift was now being an advocate. And I just find that really, really sad, and I have to look at both Ticketmaster and Taylor Swift differently. But this girl and her fans are under this, this delusion that Taylor Swift cares about her fans. But if y'all can't even get tickets to go see her and she isn't trying to advocate for y'all, it says a lot. I also want to bring up the fact that Taylor Swift does have a lot of advocacy power, because if you guys don't know, Taylor Swift was in like a bad record deal supposedly, and so she decided to re-record her whole discography and call every song that she's ever had before, let's say, song here, Taylor's version. So Taylor Swift does have a power to stick up for the things she believes in, but it's just so obvious when she doesn't. Another instance that really showed me who Taylor Swift actually was the fact that she doesn't call out her fans on problematic content. So what I'm talking about specifically is that there was a show on Netflix, I'm pretty sure it's called Gina and Georgia. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering the name, but I'll put the correction on the title. but I'll put the correct name on the screen for you guys to see. But Taylor Swift practically called out the show like, hey, I don't like the way you portrayed me on this show. I don't like it. And so due to the fact that Taylor Swift literally called out this show, a lot of her racist fans decided to attack the actress from Jenny and Georgia. Sorry, I'm obviously butchering the name, but the fact that Taylor Swift had enough confidence to call out the show, but at the same time couldn't call out the obvious and apparent racist attack that was happening to this actress of color, shows a lot about Taylor Swift. I told you guys to pay attention to when Taylor actually goes out on her own and speaks up instead of uses her PR team, and it goes to show you what she actually stands for. Taylor Swift herself will be readily available to be like, hey guys, I am being mistreated, and stand up for herself. But when it comes to like being a good person, calling out racism, Taylor Swift will let somebody else handle that, or even worse, she won't handle it at all. And one thing that really got me knowing that Swifties are an unserious fandom is that during this whole scandal that I promise you guys I'm gonna get to later in this video, I'm just trying to set up a timeline right now so you guys can see that I'm not joking about the claims I'm gonna make in this video, that the Swifties were like, no, Taylor Swift does care. And there was like this really viral stupid meme where they posted a picture of Taylor Swift holding the Joe Biden Kamala Harris cookies, trying to be like, oh, she's an activist. And I'm hoping that the original post was satire, but I saw a lot of Swifties in the comments like, yeah, like she's so outspoken about politics.
Today I'm gonna share with you 2 posts that have the same energy. Before you type the word racist, remember the Biden-Harris cookies Taylor made in response to Trump's racism. Anyway, it reminds me of my favorite video from TikTok.
If you're a police officer, this cupcake is for you. Please stop killing Black people.
Mind you, 2020, we had to choose between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So her supporting Joe Biden wasn't the extreme activism move that a lot of Swifties, for some reason, are trying to make it seem that it was. And all of this goes to show that Taylor Swift isn't the activist that all of her Swifties are claiming that she is. Taylor Swift is a brand. She is super ingenuous in the things that she does, and she only does things that can make her look good, and she doesn't ever really put her neck out on the line in terms of actually making a stand for something positive in the world. Everything she does is a calculated PR stance, and I really need Swifties to realize that and be so serious. So for the next section, I titled it You Are Who You Date, and this is where I talk about the whole Matt Healy situation that is going on with Taylor Swift. This situation is making Taylor Swift look bad, but I'm just going to be reading off my script, that way we can stay on track. So if you guys don't know Taylor Swift, she is someone who's known for her love life and how she presents that in her music. And so due to the fact that people are always so hyper-focused on Taylor Swift's relationships, if she is seen out with a man, and specifically if she's seen out with a man and is like holding on to him and is very close, it's going to lead the public to believe that they're dating. Taylor Swift is someone who's really good at making sure that she isn't seen in a bad light. So when paparazzi catches her, she's trying to tell us something. But you might ask, who is this man that Taylor Swift is being seen with that is causing all of this backlash for her? So this man is Matt Healy, and Matt Healy is the lead singer of a British rock/indie band called 1975. And supposedly he and Taylor Swift were romantically linked all the way back in 2014, but it's only recently that, you know, they've been seen out more and they've been linked to be dating. And due to the fact that people are so hyper-focused on Taylor Swift's love life, they decided to do some research on who this new boy toy of Taylor Swift is. And when people started doing research, they found out that this man is mad problematic. And so the next couple of minutes are just me info dumping about all of the stuff that Swifties and non-Taylor Swift fans found out by researching this man.
So let's start with the first of the 5 most problematic things that Matty Healy has ever said or done that makes Taylor Swift's fans hate him. First, and we're really starting off crazy here, is that Matty was doing a certain march and salute made famous by a certain group of people that Kanye West identifies with. And he said, "Thank you, Kanye. Very cool for supporting them." Second, his fans don't like his casual racism on stage.
I don't think it's a racist thing to say, oh, fuck.
I'm not racist, I'm not a bigot, I'm a bit of a
head maybe, but it wasn't like I'm not an ist.
30 said some really horrible things, mocking Ice Spice, her appearance, her accent, and just mocking API accents in general.
Yeah, that's what Ice Spice is like.
She's a very attractive woman that released one song and basically
So you slide in your DMs, you're like, so what are you, a fucking Eskimo or something?
Yeah.
Just this chubby Chinese lady.
That podcast episode was actually considered so offensive that Apple Podcasts and Spotify removed it from their platforms. I guess that means he's not a munch either, which is another red flag. He's also misogynistic.
So what is your biggest fear and biggest vice?
These are quite heavy questions for girls dressed like you do.
And when those past dating rumors were going around in 2015, Matt said that dating Taylor Swift would be really emasculating for him. He actually said, quote, "Fucking hell, I am not being Taylor Swift's boyfriend, you know? Fuck that." Any guy who is not willing to be with a more successful woman than him does not have the big dick energy that you want. It's actually the most emasculating thing that you can do that a bad bitch like Taylor would even want you. What are you thinking? His little man ego is Because we're talking about my mother, Taylor Swift, right here, I'm gonna try to defend him. Matty Healy, apologist, would say that he is a educated, woke, and well-moraled man who actually stands up for what's right. And once you really figure out who he is, you see that he is just a provocateur who says things to get a rise out of people and then will backpedal and win people's love back by saying the politically correct opinion that he actually means.
The thing that bums me out with Kanye is that, like, has mental health issues. That's not an excuse to, like, do anti-Semitism.
While the decision to date him may upset some fans, I'm gonna assume that Taylor is choosing to see the side of him that is righteous and respectful and who he is at a deeper level and not this provocateur persona that he puts on. But this relationship would definitely be very treacherous for her. So does she want to risk the amazing stance she has with the general public right now for Matty Healy? Something crazy is that right when they started dating in February, he deleted his Twitter. And when one of his fans asked him why, he said, because the era of him being a fucking asshole is coming to an end.
Yeah. You guys just saw all the evidence that I was able to compile about this man. So me, with my quick little cute little access to Google, I was able to find out this information. Taylor Swift, who literally has way more resources than me, way more money than me, and probably a lot of people in her life to tell her what's right and wrong, for some reason, allegedly, wasn't able to find out this information about her new problematic boy toy. Personally, for me, I was not shocked when I found out all of this information because to me, Taylor Swift has always been fake and disingenuous about the things that she supposedly stands for.
Here's the thing, I'm not actually trying to defend Taylor Swift. I think she has been problematic, that she is problematic, and that she will continue to be problematic. My baseline for Taylor Swift is that she will do something disappointing, and so when she does something disappointing, she's just meeting my expectations. My question for you is, why are your expectations so high when she has shown us over and over and over again that she is a problematic queen? I mean, this is the woman that was silent about politics until recently and then decided to cry her white woman tears, make a tweet, make an Instagram post, and then went silent again. We haven't heard from her since. Then there was the whole Lavender Haze reel fiasco that she just quietly got rid of recently. She never gives women who she features on her album solo parts, but men always get a solo part. She really wants an Oscar, so she's working with a problematic director to get it. The company she keeps has always been a little questionable. The Ticketmaster fiasco, people say she didn't have any control over that. I don't believe that for a second. She sells 10 different colors of the same album, knowing that people will buy it, so she'll have the best album sales of anybody. Her merch from the Eras Tour is literally washing off when people put it in the washing machine, and she doesn't seem to care about that either. And I guess she'll have really short memories because this cycle repeats a lot. She'll do something problematic, there'll be a lot of outrage, there'll be demands for a statement. She never makes a statement because she doesn't make statements or apologies. And then things simmer down, and then something else happens, repeat. And I know people aren't gonna like to hear this, but honestly, it screams performative allyship to me. Y'all just want to be seen in the comments saying the right thing, being outraged about the right thing. Well, guess what? Criticizing a celebrity is not going to change the homophobia and the racism in this country. So I really hope the amount of energy you're putting in to posting on all these people's comments, your outrage that Taylor Swift is not even going to see, you're putting all that energy into grassroots efforts in your communities to actually make change. Because otherwise, it just screams performative allyship to me personally.
And what really makes me sad is that her longtime fans, and specifically her fans of color, this information came as a gut punch. I just feel so bad for the younger Swifties because I know how much it hurts to look up to someone and then you literally find out that they consensually and willingly hang out with someone who has such bigoted views.
Today my students walked in quoting Matty Healy. Things that he has said, direct quotes that he has made. And they looked at me and they said, Miss Murray, don't you love Taylor Swift? She's dating a racist. And then I got accused of being racist. And this is why it matters for everyone out there saying that this doesn't matter and it doesn't affect her personal life. I don't care if they're dating or not. He's up on her stage, okay? And he is trending right now. This story is trending. Taylor Swift dating a racist is trending. Doesn't matter if it's true. I've researched a lot. I've seen a lot. I read his quotes. I read how they've been taken out of context. I read the good things he's done. It doesn't matter. He has said hurtful things. And it makes my students now feel some type of way about me.
And what really gets me is that I'm seeing so many Swifties going out of their way to defend a bigot. Like, I'm literally seeing people defend him despite the things that he has said. And he said some really weird, despicable stuff. And literally, as I'm filming this video right now, it was just released that Taylor Swift has just dropped her single with Ice Spice, which is really ironic considering that her boyfriend alleged boyfriend has said so many weird things about Ice Spice. And this is what I mean when I say that Taylor Swift is so fake and disingenuous. A lot of people, the Swifties obviously, are like, guys, you really think that she just filmed this song with Ice Spice? Obviously not. But the fact that she dropped it right now while she is under fire because of her alleged boyfriend's racism says a lot about Taylor Swift. She reminds me a lot of the royal family, how they'll consistently be called racist, get exposed for treating black people specifically awfully, and then the next thing you'll see is them with a forced photo op of them with like children of color. That's what Taylor Swift reminds me of. And I just the only people I really feel bad for in this situation are POC Swifties, because right now they're being like terrorized. Like, people are treating them like they're not human. I'm gonna put this girl's video on the screen for you guys, but do you see how white Swifties are treating POC Swifties all because they're disappointed by someone who they really looked up to and most likely even supported with their own money? And this is how she acts. This is a hot mess. This is a hot mess, and I feel so bad for POC Swifties right now. But I want to talk about what we can possibly learn from this situation. So the whole reason why I made this video in the first place is that I have a lot of fans who are Swifties, and they were so confused about what this whole situation was. And I just wanted to make this video to give my own personal thoughts on the situation, as well as compile evidence so everybody can be on the same page about this whole Taylor Swift situation. And what I wanted to say is that we have to A, stop idolizing celebrities, and B, believe celebrities when they show us who they are. I've seen a lot of people compare Lizzo to Taylor Swift during this whole debacle to practically prove that it is possible to say something and mean it, because while Taylor Swift says that she's an advocate for all these groups and she's like a girl boss feminist, Taylor Swift isn't. I'm so sorry. She's someone who I like to call a white feminist who will scream misogyny, and the mainstream media is using misogyny and this and that to push her down. But when it's time to stand up for other women, she's silent. Lizzo, on the other hand, is a proud advocate for LGBT issues as well as disability rights. And Lizzo actually does the work of bringing these activists on stage with them, platforming them, while Taylor Swift brings her alleged... Y'all saw the evidence, y'all can make your own opinions, but to me, that dude gives very racist, cringe, edgelord boy on stage where millions of her fans can see Lizzo platforming activists, Taylor Swift platforming her alleged boyfriend who has said problematic things. I just want you guys to be so for real when it comes to this. I really feel like we as a society need to recognize that a lot of these celebrities are brands. we might see them as people who actually care about social issues, but at the end of the day, they're literally trying to get a check.
People are canceling their Speak Now Taylor's version pre-orders and saying on the cancellation they're doing it because of Matty Healy. Be nice and normal in the comments. If anyone's a meaner, you're getting deleted. Taylor knows what we post online about her. She has said this many times, and it's very clear she is aware of what the general fandom consensus is. And yet Matty has still attended her shows, has come on stage during the openers, and Taylor has said nothing, which means she's using her usual PR strategy of saying nothing and hoping it goes away. But with people canceling Speak Now pre-orders, it's starting to impact Taylor Swift, the brand, financially. And if canceling the pre-orders catches on, she might be forced to say something. And before you say, oh, if you cancel your pre-order, you should resell your tickets, don't go to the concert. Reselling the ticket doesn't take money out of her pocket. And there's still gonna be someone screaming in the crowd. Whereas canceling a pre-order directly hurts the financial bottom line. I'm not saying if this is good or bad. I haven't pre-ordered Speak Now, so I can't really do anything either way. I just think it's interesting.
Because I really want you guys to be so serious. I'm speaking directly to the Swifties right now. The evidence is there, and the fact that you guys are going out of your way to defend someone who's literally a bigot for Taylor Swift shows who you guys really are. And I really feel like you guys need to do a serious introspective and look deep inside and think, why am I doing this and why do I think that it's okay? But for a lot of you guys, I know that you guys are just like actually racist, because when it came to the whole Gina and Georgia, or whatever the show is called, when it came to that whole situation and the fact that you guys were bullying this actress when her only job was to read the lines, it really goes to show how you guys really are. This video isn't for those racist Swiftie fans, because I really feel like they're too far gone. Because if you're literally turning into someone that hateful to defend a problematic celebrity like Taylor Swift, I don't think there's anything that I could say, especially since I'm black, that could help you realize that you shouldn't be doing that. But this video is primarily for the POC Swifties who are going through it right now. You guys are being called slurs because you're like, I'm disappointed in Taylor Swift. And I want to know that I'm standing in solidarity with you guys. Because as someone who's actively in fandom spaces and likes shows that sometimes don't treat black women in the best light, I know how hard it is for you to speak up and say something. But practically, I want you guys to know that it's okay to listen to the music. For me, I love Nicki Minaj's music, but I have to be so serious and realize that Nicki Minaj is not the best person out there. And I just have to realize that and accept that as the truth. But I also want to say that while you guys can listen to Taylor Swift's music, I'm also begging you guys to not put your money into that woman's pockets. Please. I talked about the whole Ticketmaster debacle, but my friend, I'm gonna keep her name anonymous or whatever, because like, she has no business being mentioned in this video, but she told me that Taylor Swift released 4 different versions of the Midnight album, and now one of them has all the songs. So this woman is just trying to do everything in her power to get the most money from her fans, while literally not caring about her fans. So please, don't put your money into her hands. And practically, this whole Matt Healy Taylor Swift drama really goes to show you that who you date actually matters, especially if you yourself are a brand. Right now, Taylor Swift's image is taking such a major hit. People are discrediting her as a feminist and a political activist, and people are really shaming the heck out of her. And this is not something that Taylor Swift wants. So I'm ready to have a discussion with you guys in my comments. Let me know if you have heard about this whole situation, what your thoughts on this situation are, and what you would do if you found out that the dude you were dating had bigoted views. If you guys like this content, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button. It really helps push this video in the algorithm. If you like more social commentary content like this from me, make sure you subscribe. I have a bunch of videos coming out for the summer. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!